If you look at the history of accession when it comes to the EU Western Balkans, it's one of delays, disappointment, and frustration. But the message that the European institutions will deliver and the message that the head of the European Council, António Costa, will hammer down is that now there is real momentum because bringing these countries, the 6 partner countries, closer to the European political union through the EU is now a geopolitical imperative. It is also a need when it comes to the security infrastructure of Europe. Now, that is, as I say, the message that António Costa, who will co-chair a dinner today, but also a summit tomorrow, will deliver. And he has been on a tour of the Western Balkans throughout this week. It is also no coincidence that this summit is happening in Montenegro because this is a country that is now clearly seen as the front runner. Of course, 28 by 28. The idea that there could be a new member state in the European Union by 2028. And I can tell you just anecdotally, Maeve, yesterday when we landed in this country at the airport, at dinner also, everyone knew and everyone was aware that this summit is happening. There have been many conversations that we had around the idea of joining, and it's pretty much taken as a given here. There is this aspiration to join this European Union, but of course we know that this region is diverse and it is also complex. It's not the same message for every of the participating countries, but the message, as I say, from the institutions will be there is now real momentum. It is an imperative. Reforms are still needed both ways, by the way, not just the Western Balkans, but also within the European Union to get this done. And of course, there has been many ideas floated, now thinking outside the box in many ways, still continuing to say that this is a merit-based process. It is based on heavy reforms, but also, as you know, multiple suggestions that perhaps you could look into memberships that go step by step, new countries that could join without the full rights, perhaps joining without a veto. The idea put forward by the German Chancellor, who will be here alongside the French President, of association with the European Union. And the capitals, of course, also matter because they will have the final say. This has to be approved unanimously. But as I say, going into the summit, the message very much from the European institution is there is real momentum. Now is the time to push forward and move forward. There is now an imperative to bring these countries closer to the Union. They cannot stay stuck in limbo. But as I mentioned, this is a complex scenario and this region is very diverse in its aspirations, but also the many challenges.